Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. And I'm Cameron Diaz. Look at me, everybody. Annie, released in 2014 and is directed by Will Gluck, who's also behind such films like Easy A, Friends with Benefits, and the Peter Rabbit franchise. And this film is starring Quivinsane Wallace, Jamie Foxx, Bobby Cannavale, Rose Byrne, David Zayas, and Cameron Diaz, who hasn't worked a day since this movie came out. Which apparently, I guess she's going to be starring in a movie that's coming out later this year, I believe in November, so it's been 10 years since she's acted, since this movie. That should tell you something. And the reason why we're talking about Annie today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel, James Filbury. Thank you very much for the recommendation and sending over your support to me through PayPal. I greatly appreciate it. If anyone else out there also wants to be like James Filbury and contribute to me and support me on this channel, you can select the QR code that's in the bottom left corner of your screen right now and send over your donation of $5 or more for a movie recommendation. And if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with James here. And James, you know, I like the musical Annie. I like a bunch of other renditions of it. I like the Carol Burnett version. I believe there was a TV version that came out in like the early 2000s that I was a fan of. In undergrad, we were supposed to do Annie as a musical one year, but then another theater company in like a general area was doing it, and there are like legal terms whenever someone gets the rights to a musical that's publicly traded. Someone else also can't do it within a certain area around where that theater is, so unfortunately we couldn't. We went with Pippin, which also was a fun time too, but I think this would have been a much better musical to do. Enough of me talking about my personal life. Let's get into this interesting rendition of this musical. Yeah. This version of Annie takes place in modern day and follows the life of little orphan Annie, or I'm sorry, foster care child Annie, as she makes it through day to day with her awful foster parent and always trying to find her parents at a local restaurant. Well, one day, one of the richest men in town saves her from being hit by a car, and it's great publicity for him because he is running for mayor. So Mr. Will Stacks takes Annie up to his pent-out mansion, gets a whole bunch of photos from her, and everything seems to be going well with his campaign. Well, one of his campaign managers is over the whole Annie thing and hires a couple of actors to play the part of Annie's long-lost parents, and they take her away. Not before Stack starts developing feelings for Annie and wants to adopt her, and then they find out that it's not the actual parents, and so they are chasing them all over town, and they can't find them, but you know what saves the day and comes in handy? That's right, cell phones save the day in this movie. And my God, in this world with all of the AI and technology that we are so obsessed with, it's nice to have a story that we can get behind about how great technology is in this thing that we have in our pocket that is just determining our lives. It's great to get reassurance that that thing is the thing that is going to save the day in the end. I know this movie was panned by almost everyone, and watching it, yeah, they have definite rights to do so. There are a lot of just eye-rolly parts of this film that I'm just like, no, we don't need to have you sing. Bobby Cannavale, I know you're into the whole theater scene, but we don't need to have you sing at all. Rose Byrne, you must be a sweetheart. I don't think I've liked a performance of yours, but everyone just loves working with you. We don't need to hear you sing. And Ms. Diaz, we really don't need to have you sing. Like, we really don't. In fact, we really don't need to have you in this film because I don't know what movie you are acting in. Everyone else is giving us kind of an honest performance, but here's Cameron Diaz just being over the top and all these big, bombastic, annoying choices that, yes, kind of suit the idea of the character, but she just turns it up to 11 and the director never reins her in. So like, hey, you're giving me a lot and that's great. Let's dial it back a couple of degrees and I think it'll be perfect. I don't think that ever happened. He just let this woman go, and when it gets to the point where she starts becoming redeemable and nothing bad happens to her, even though she is complicit in the whole, hey, these are the fake foster parents and they did DNA testing and all that shit, even though she was part of that, nothing bad happens to her. But in the end, Cameron Diaz is just, oh gosh, she is annoying. Annoying. I feel like if anyone else would have played this role in this movie, it would have been tolerable. But it's Cameron Diaz. And I've liked her in things. I really have. Here, though, I just wanted to slap her across the face. The main redeeming aspects of this film that I can get behind, and those were the scenes that I could watch, were between Annie and the Stax character. Jamie Foxx, I actually really like his voice. I liked him when he was in Ray, and he was doing a lot of his own singing in that film, and here just continues. It's definitely modernized, and it has that hip-hop feel behind it. And this Wallace kid who plays Annie, she is by far the shining gem of this film. She's wonderful. She had great energy. Everyone just lit up around her. She's a beautiful voice, and she's a little great performer. It didn't feel like she was a kid, you know, trying to be an actor. She was just on set, and it's like, yeah, I'm this kid. I'm this little orphan Annie. And yeah, I'm just gonna go along with it. It felt really believable to me, which makes me happy. Whenever I see a kid in a film or a kid in a play, I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, gosh, their parents are making them do that shit. I know, because I used to be a kid with parents that did that. But this kid gave me the vibes that she really wanted to be there. And she was wonderful. She's the best part of this film by far. The music, like I've said before, is updated, has a little bit more of a modern edge to it, which I do appreciate. If you're gonna do an adaptation of a classic golden age musical, you gotta make it your own and do your own thing, so I can appreciate it for that. But this movie really lent itself into the whole idea of materialism being the saving grace and what we should all strive for in our lives. Yeah, it definitely played that up to the 11th degree. Things kind of suck when you don't have things, but gosh, when you have money, you can get all the things, and really that's what we should all strive for. I really want the money so I can do the things. I guess in terms of messages, not the worst, I guess. I mean, it's really true in a lot of ways, but, you know, it's also... when it comes to just a Broadway musical like this, we should be focusing on love and friendship and kindredship and forming those connections with people. That's what makes us rich. It's all the connections that we make along the way. And here, though, no, it's nice to have the money. It's nice to be a powerful, rich person. Annie from 2014, definitely not the best musical that I've seen, and I probably won't. I'm not looking forward to going back to seeing this again. I will never seek it out to watch it again. Cameron Diaz is terrible in this movie. There's a reason why she hasn't acted in 10 years. I would be embarrassed too if this was the performance that I gave. And it's just one of those movie musicals where it's just trying really too hard. I'm going to give Annie 1.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
So guys, have you seen Annie? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.